Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to just do an update on the state of altcoins. This video is a reoccurring video that I make every so often, talking about the state of altcoins as a whole. So that's including everything but Bitcoin, right? And we use charts like BTC.D, which is Bitcoin dominance. You can do an inverse chart if you want to see like altcoin strength. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just total 2 divided by the BLX, and that is another way to measure it. And we'll also be looking at that as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. We're currently, at the end of this week, we'll be at 42 days of this out of 133 day date span. Where do I get 133 days from? Well, in a previous video, we looked at all the times where Bitcoin dominance moved up during a run or during a bear market. Obviously, like 2018, 2019, these were bear market times. But we looked back from the past cycle. So 2016, 2017, 2018, and seeing all the times where Bitcoin dominance moved up, right? We saw this and this and so on and so forth. And we measured it. We measured it by date. So not by percentage gain or whatever, but by date. We have cases of 56 days. We have cases of 133 days. We have cases of 77 days, 133, 154. So, and 133 roughly. Now, obviously, this isn't clear cut. So it's not exactly 133 days, but this gives us an idea that at the bottom line, this gives us an idea of how long these periods of time where Bitcoin takes back dominance lasts, right? And on average, we see three times out of 3 out of 6 times. So like 50% of the time, it usually lasts 133 days. That percentage gets higher if you just say over 133 days or more, right? That's 4 times out of 6 times when we see this happen. It lasts for that long. There's cases for 77 days. There's cases for 56 days. We're currently at day 42 by the end of this week. So when this weekly candle closes, that's 42 days. So we're over a month during this period. And I think if I measured it right, May 10th, that's when Bitcoin was. Yeah. So this is pretty good. Good timing. May 10th is the week where we broke the 20-week moving average. So that's a pretty good basis point to start from. So it's been 40, at the end of this day, it's going to be about 42 days or so, a little over a month that we've been below the 20-week moving average. And yeah. So with 42 days in, there's 100. We estimate about 133 days. We're not even halfway there yet. So you can see how long this is going to take. It already feels like forever. It feels like forever when we were talking about how great the market was, how bullish everything was, and it just takes about 5 weeks for everything to just come crumbling down, and you get this bearish sentiment. I think that the fear and greed is set at like 20-ish something. So kind of pretty bearish. People are pretty fearful. But these are the times where you want a majority stack in Bitcoin, right? Like during the month of May, this is when I started like consolidating my positions back into Bitcoin to get a 50% allocation. And so you could see that if you've done that during this period, you could lose less money but still be exposed to the market, if that makes any sense. You could have just sold back into fiat dollars and or stable coins, and you would have not lost much more. But I like to have continuous skin in the game, and not necessarily sell all my positions at once. I still want exposure even during these periods, and the best way to do so is just accumulate more Bitcoin or just shift your allocations back into Bitcoin. The second thing is that we want to estimate where the top is going to be, right? So like these all have run ups, they have tops, and so with that said, where are we going to land? And I'll get rid of this this here so it's easier to see. What I expect for Bitcoin is we're definitely not going to get back to 70% dominance, at least not for a long time, if at all. What I expect might happen is that Bitcoin's going to hit one of these two resistance support lines, these past support and resistance lines. If we scroll back, you can see that this line here acted as support, support here, resistance here, resistance support here, etc. So I would foresee some kind of bounce off of one of these two levels, right? It could be at 50% dominance, could be at 55% dominance, could be higher. But this is kind of general idea of where I think Bitcoin Bitcoin dominance might go to, and so I won't necessarily be really focusing on altcoins until then. The caveats to that are Chainlink and Tezos, but less on Tezos now because I have my position, and Link because I met my goal of making it the third largest position in my portfolio. So with that said, this is kind of the target that I have in my head, and if we're going to make a date and price range, it would be within this circle at around 133 days. Between 50 and 55% dominance. That's kind of the general idea I have. Obviously, I'm going to be extremely flexible. It could be 154 days, could be 77 days, and it could be just up to here. Like we could just roll over and come back down, and Bitcoin gets to the 20-week moving average, breaks it, altcoins rally, bringing this dominance down, right? So I'll keep an open mind about that. Let's take a look at total 2 divided by the BLX. And this isn't going to show on a percentage basis. This is going to show on a nominal basis. So how much can the total altcoin market cap buy Bitcoin? So right now the total 2 is worth about 19.9 million Bitcoin. So bear with me. Like the peak here is like 30 million Bitcoin, which is impossible, but just bear with me. It shows, it's almost like the inverse of the Bitcoin dominance, to be honest with you, when you look at it. So with that said, we're currently trending down. We have been trending down. We've dropped, from the wick to where we are right now, we have dropped about 30% against Bitcoin, for the valuation of the altcoin market. We know that potentially this 20-week moving average can be something to hold, as you can see in past times, but it's not as reliable, right? Because we see multiple breakdowns but shoot back up, multiple breakdowns and come back up. So we're above the 20-week moving average, but keep in mind it's not necessarily a tried and true method, at least with total 2 divided by the BLX. But when we look at potential support and resistances, we're looking at this range here, right? This is what I have drawn here. Again, acted as support, acted as resistance, etc. in the past cycle. So we're kind of aiming towards this area here, between 18 million and 15.78 million. That's kind of the range that I see. If you're going to be referencing total 2, this is where I'd be referencing a bounce from. By that time, hopefully over the several months or so or whatever, Bitcoin is getting back to the 20-week moving average, potentially even above it at that point, and then we can start focusing. We pay our attention to altcoins. But at the moment right now, the only kind of thing that I'm really paying attention to in regards to altcoins is how low it's going to be dropping. Other than that, nothing really of concern for me. I'm not paying too much attention to that. It's more so Bitcoin that I'm paying attention to. With Bitcoin still below the 20-week moving average, we're pretty low. From the 20-week moving average, we'd have to rally roughly about 43%. And there's a potential breakage of the 50-week moving average, right? We came to it, we wicked to it, we bounced off of it, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. So keep that in mind. Obviously, Bitcoin is the market mover and the thing to focus on today, and for the foreseeable future, which will have ramifications against the altcoin market, and we're already seeing that now. We see the downtrend of altcoins, the total altcoin market cap on total 2 divided by the BLX. Right, as you can see here, flip it to the Bitcoin dominance, same thing, but the inverse, Bitcoin dominance is rising. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.